Okay, let's talk about a spice you probably have sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. For centuries, it's been a staple in traditional medicine. But now, well, now modern science is starting to catch on, revealing just how powerful this little seed might actually be.
And that brings us to a huge question. I mean, could a simple, common spice really hold a key to managing something as serious as type 2 diabetes? It sounds pretty bold, right? But it's a question researchers are taking very seriously. We're talking about a plant that might just give us a whole new tool in the fight against a major chronic disease.
So, what is this mystery spice? It's fenugreek, which you might also know as methi. Whether you call it Greek hayseed or bird's foot, this tiny golden brown seed has been around for a long time, especially in Ayurvedic medicine. It's been used for just about everything, from digestive troubles to skin issues. Now, from that traditional viewpoint, Ayurveda says fenugreek has a heating effect. And no, that doesn't mean it's going to raise your body temperature. It's more about stimulating what's called your agni, or your digestive fire, kind of like stoking the furnace to get your body's systems running in balance. So, can we actually measure this? Does all of this ancient wisdom hold up when you put it under a modern scientific microscope? Well, a recent study decided to find out exactly that. And this is where things get really fascinating. Let's dive into a clinical trial published in the journal Food Research. A group of scientists in Bangladesh set up a rigorous test to see what fenugreek actually does for people with type 2 diabetes. And listen, they did this right. This was a proper 60-day randomized controlled trial. They had 49 patients with type 2 diabetes, split them up. One group, the exposed group, took 10 grams of fenugreek powder soaked in water every single day. The other group, the control, got nothing. This kind of setup, it's the gold standard for figuring out if something really works.
And wow, the results speak for themselves. Just look at this chart. The boxes on the left, that's the control group. Their fasting blood sugar, that's your glucose level first thing in the morning. It pretty much stays the same. But now look at the fenugreek group on the right. After just 15 days, you see this clear, steady, and pretty significant drop. It just keeps going down.
It's the exact same story when we look at what happens after a meal, that postprandial blood glucose spike. Again, the control group on the left is all over the place, but the fenugreek group, just a dramatic and steady decline over those 60 days. They were just handling the sugar from their food so much better. So let's put some hard numbers on this. The fenugreek group's fasting blood sugar dropped by an average of 2.38 units. And even better, their after-meal glucose was down by over 4 units. And you see that p-value thing, less than 0.001? All that means is that these results are legit. It's incredibly unlikely this happened by random chance. This is the real.
But here it is. This is a stat that just made my jaw drop. After only 2 months, more than 20%, that's 1 out of every 5 people in the fenugreek group, had blood sugar levels that were no longer in the diabetic range. And in the control group, that number was 0. Not a single person. That is just a remarkable result. Now, as powerful as that is, the story of fenugreek actually gets even bigger, because the potential benefits don't just stop with managing blood sugar, not by a long shot. I mean, look at this list. Studies suggest it can help boost milk supply for nursing moms. Thanks to its high fiber, it can help with digestion and make you feel fuller, which can totally help with weight management. It's even traditionally used for hair health, and there's evidence it can help block cholesterol absorption. It really is a jack-of-all-trades spice. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, this sounds pretty amazing, but how do I actually use it? Well, turns out the most common way is also one of the easiest. It's honestly this simple. You just rinse about a teaspoon of the seeds, let them soak in a cup of water overnight. Then in the morning, you strain it and drink that water on an empty stomach. That's it. That's a simple routine that seems to unlock so many of these benefits. And hey, don't throw those soaked seeds out. They get all soft and have this nice kind of nutty flavor. You can toss them right into salads or stir them into soups and curries. It's a great way to get an extra hit of fiber and nutrients. All right, now before you go and raid your spice rack, we absolutely have to talk about some very important precautions. Because anything that is this effective also means it's not going to be right for everyone. And I really can't stress this enough. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution. What might work wonders for one person could actually cause some real problems for someone else, all depending on their own health situation. So let's be super clear about who needs to be careful. If you're pregnant, you should avoid it, as it can stimulate uterine contractions. And because it lowers blood sugar so well, if you're already on diabetes meds or have low blood sugar, you have to be extremely cautious. You don't want your levels to drop too low. Also, some sources say it might interfere with thyroid hormones, so if you have a thyroid issue, you definitely need to talk to your doctor first.
You know, the Economic Times really sums it up perfectly here. As with any herbal remedy, moderation and medical guidance are key. This stuff is powerful, for sure, but it's a tool you've got to use wisely, ideally with a doctor keeping an eye on things.
So, if you and your doctor do decide it's a good idea for you, the general recommended dose is somewhere between 5 and 20 grams a day. But really, the best advice is to start small. Just 1 teaspoon of seeds is about 5 grams. Start there, see how your body feels, and then you can think about increasing it.
So, there you have it, a humble kitchen spice, backed up by centuries of traditional wisdom, and now some really compelling modern science. It shows incredible promise, especially for blood sugar. But the most important question is still the one you have to answer. Is it right for you? And that, of course, is a conversation to have with your healthcare provider. Thanks for digging into this with me.